Levi, born Gallagher. Social introductions. Ladies and gentlemen of excellent family, introduced under the most respectable conditions, in an atmosphere of elegance and refinement. Object, matrimony. Unfortunately, I won't be able to offer my usual lightning service, as I have a previous appointment in Yonkers, New York, arranging the second marriage of Mr. Horace Van der Gelder, the well-known half-a-millionaire. As my late husband, Ephraim Levi, used to say, that means he has at least 60,000 cash. But I'll do my best to have you carried across somebody's threshold before the week is out. I might also mention that I'm available for financial consultation, instructions in the guitar and mandolin, short distance hauling, and varicose veins reduced.
Miss Levi.
Mr. Kemper, the artist. You know, I'm somewhat of an artist myself. I do those silhouettes with the scissors and black paper. Here's one of Ida Rehan. She's looking the other way. I have to do it that way because I'm no good at noses.
Miss Levi, the train for Yonkers leaves in 5 minutes, and if we don't get there on time...
But we will, Mr. Kemper. And not only will Horace Van der Gelder give you permission to marry his niece Ermengarde, but he'll be dancing at your wedding. And not alone either, because I happen to be engaged in finding him a suitable second wife himself. What he really wants is someone steady to clean the house. As my late husband, Ephraim Levi, used to say, marriage is a bride to make a housekeeper think she's a householder.
I know all about it, Miss Levi. Half of New York says he's going to propose to Miss Irene Malloy this very afternoon.
Which is exactly why I'm on my way to Yonkers this morning. I can take on your case and knock out 4 lovebirds with 2 stones, or whatever I'll throw, I'll see, and... Well, 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 what do you think of that? I have nothing here to pay my train fare with, only large bills, 5s and 7s.
I know I have some change, Miss Levi. I only hope this isn't a wild goose chase.
And speaking of poultry, I'm also available for fresh Jersey eggs, surgical corsets reboned, ears pierced, pierced ears replugged.
Miss Levi.
Just in the kind of man your sister wants it, she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your maid and accent, she'll match him up. Call on Dolly.
Tell me, Miss Levi, what's in all of this for you?
A living, Mr. Kemper. Some people paint, some sew. I meddle. I have always been a woman who arranges things for the pleasure and the profit it derives. I have always been a woman who arranges things like furniture and daffodils and lives. When a man with a timid tongue meets a girl with a diffident air, why should the tortured creatures beat around the bush when heaven knows Mother Nature always needs a little push? I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there, and a girl over 6'3" loves a man who comes up to her ear. Surely it's obvious she'll never be seduced to some kind soul condescends to give her poor a little boost. I put my hand in there, I put my hand in here. I have always been a woman who arranges things. It's my duty to assist the Lord above. I have always been a woman who arranges things like luncheon parties, poker games, and plump lady fair. She had a countenance a little bit like Scrooge, but oh, today you would swear the Lord himself applied the rouge. I put my hand in
Miss Levi.
I know, Mr. Kemper. The Yonkers train is ready to leave. Now, you go buy our tickets, get a window seat, and I'll meet you on board. Ephraim Levi, I'm gonna get married again. I'm gonna marry Horace Vandergelder for his money and send it out circulating among the people like rainwater, the way you taught me. And I want a sign from you sometime today showing that you approve. Oh, it won't be a marriage in the sense we had one, but I shall certainly make him happy. And I'm tired of him, tired of living life from hand to mouth. So I want that sign
Miss Levi.
sometime today. Now, don't you worry, Mr. Kemper. We'll make that train. We'll get to Yonkers. You'll marry Ermengarde. Just leave everything to me. Oh, when my little pinky wiggles, some young maiden gets the giggles. Then I make my nut feels active. Why, he says she's so attractive. Then I move my index digit and they both begin to fidget. Then I clench my palm. The preacher reads a psalm when I put my hand in
my Yonkers with all that bellowing in my ears?
I can't help it, Uncle. I love Ambrose Kemper.
And I say you're too young to be in love with anybody. Here, take this.
I'm not too young. I'm 17, and in another year I'll be an old maid.
Dare to be an old maid, Ermengarde, and I'll cut you off without a cent. And don't cry in front of the store.
I can't help it. I'm unhappy.
And by thunder, you'll go and weep for a while in New York where it won't be noticed. Now go to your room and start packing your trunk. And don't get any tears on the lock. It was just oil. Cornelius, Barnaby.
You stamped Mr. Vandergelder?
I did. I got news for you both. I'm going to New York this afternoon to march in the 14th Street Association Parade. And when I come back, you're going to have a mistress.
I'm too young, Mr. Vandergelder.
Not yours, mine. I mean, I'm getting married again. And in honor of that occasion, I've decided to promote you, Cornelius, to chief clerk.
And what am I now, Mr. Van de Gelder?
You're an impertinent fool, that's what you are. And I'm promoting you from impertinent fool to chief clerk. Any more questions?
Yes.
What?
Does the chief clerk get one evening off a week?
So that's how you thank me for your promotion, is it? No. You'll attend to the store as usual. Now get back to work. And don't forget to put the lid on the sheep dip. Evenings off, marrying artist foolishness. 99% of the people in this world are fools, and the rest of us are in great danger of contamination. Why, even I was once young, which was foolish, and got married, which was foolish, and was poor, which was more foolish than anything else. Then my wife died, which was foolish of her. I grew older, which was sensible of me, and became rich, friendless, and mean, which in Yonkers is about as far as you can go. Oh, I know what you're wondering now, why a man of so much good sense should be planning anything as getting married again. Well, the answer's simple. This house without a woman would be an empty shell, and pretty dirty, too. It takes a woman all powdered in pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft-dressed-in fingers for dumping the ashes.
Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
The frail young maiden who's constantly there for washing and bluing and shoeing the mare. And it takes a female for setting the table and weaning the Guernsey and cleaning the stable.
Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. And so she'll work until infinity. 3 cheers for them and liberty. Rah, 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 F-E-L-I-T-Y.
Get out of here! And in the winter she'll shovel the ice and lovingly set out the traps for the mice. She's a joy and treasure, for practically speaking, to whom can you turn when the plumbing is leaking?
To that dainty woman, that fragile woman, that sweetheart, that mistress, that wife. Oh, yes, it takes a woman,
A husky woman
to bring you the sweet things in life. Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife.
Oh, yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
All right, all you, get out of here. Get back to work.
Congratulations, congratulations, 1,000 congratulations.
What?
Congratulations, Mr. Van de Gelder. All New York is buzzing with the news that you practically proposed to Irene Malloy. The streets are lined with eligible young ladies prostrate with grief. All my congratulations and sympathy.
Sympathy?
Did I say that? I slip of the tongue, that's all. No, actually, I'm delighted with the happy news. After all, she wasn't easy to unload. By that I mean, well, you know what people said, although I, for one, never believed the rumors. No, I didn't.
Rumors? What rumors?
Nothing to get upset about, Mr. Van de Gelder. I mean, According to all known facts, her first husband passed on quite naturally. It's just that he went so sudden. A few spoonfuls of chowder she made special for him and poofed. But it could happen to anyone. No, there's no truth in it. Just one word of advice, Mr. Vandergelder. Eat out.
Now look here, Miss Levi. You mean to say that Miss Malloy...
I mean to say nothing, Mr. Vandergelder. Just friendly advice. Keep away from the chowder. By the way, she's ordered her wedding gown. Beautiful. You should see it. Black. Well, as I said before, Mr. Vandergelder, congratulations on your forthcoming nuptials. And may you rest in, may guardian angels watch over you both, particularly at dinner.
Now look here, Miss Levi. You introduced me to Miss Malloy, and rumors or not, I intend on calling on her this afternoon as arranged.
Very well. I guess there's nothing else for me to do but to go back to New York and tell the other girl, the heiress, not to wait.
What did you say?
Nothing. A word. Heiress.
Particulars, Miss Levi. I demand particulars. What's her name?
Her name? Money. Ernestina Money.
What a lovely, lovely name.
Picture, if you will, hair as shiny as a newly minted dime, eyes as big round as silver dollars, and skin as soft and mossy as an old greenback.
I can feel her now.
Weight 102, waist 47.
Waist 47?
That's with the money belt. Now, I could arrange for you to meet this Ernestina this very afternoon.
I ain't got time, Miss Levi. I gotta bring my niece Ermengarde to New York this afternoon until she forgets a certain Ambrose Kemper.
I could do that for you, Mr. Vandergelder. I know just how to handle such things.
Then I'm marching in the 14th Street Parade.
What an amazing coincidence. Guess who's been chosen to ride on the main float? The spit of 14th Street, Miss Money. Her mother was a cash, you know.
All right, Miss Levi, I'll meet Miss Money at the parade, but I still intend on calling on Miss Malloy first.
Oh dear, what races you make me run. Very well, Mr. Vandergelder. I'll meet you on that bench outside of Mrs. Malloy's hat shop at 2:30 as usual.
One more thing, Miss Levi. Suppose I decide against Miss Malloy and I don't like Miss Money neither.
Well then, I happen to have one more name on my list. A name I know as well as my own. But let's not go into that now. It'll come up by itself, all a good time. Don't you worry about that. Oh, but wait till you see Ernestina, horse. A vision, a dream.
It takes a woman all powdered in pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel.
Yes, it takes a woman. You know, Effie, I think I'll have that room done over in blue wallpaper. Yes, in blue. Oh my God, Ambrose, come on out here. We got plans to make.
Chief clerk. Promoted from chief clerk to chief clerk. And if I'm good, in 10 years, I'll be promoted to chief clerk again. 28 3/4 years old, and I still don't get an evening free. When am I going to begin to live?
Well, you can live on holidays, Cornelius.
Did you forget what we did last Christmas? All those canned tomatoes went bad and exploded, and you and I cleaned up the mess all afternoon. Do you call that living?
No.
Barnaby, we're going to New York.
You mean close the store?
Uh-huh.
Cornelius, we can't.
We'll have to. Some more rotten cans of tomatoes are going to explode.
Holy cabooses, how do you know?
I'm gonna light this candle under them, that's how I know. They'll make such a smell, customers won't be able to come into the store for 24 hours. That'll get us an evening free. We're going to New York, Barnaby, and we're going to live. We're going to have a good meal. We're going to be in danger. We're going to spend all our money. We're going to be arrested.
Holy cabooses!
And one more thing. We're not coming back to Yonkers until we've each kissed a girl.
Cornelius, you can't do that. You don't know any girls.
I'm 28 3/4 years old. I've got to begin sometime.
Well, I'm only 17. It isn't so urgent for me.
New York, Barnaby. Elevated trains. The lights of Broadway. A stuffed whale at Barnum's Museum.
A stuffed whale?
A stuffed whale. What do you say, Barnaby?
Yes, Cornelius, yes.
Now, the first thing to do is to see that you're financially independent. I know. I'll find you a job. Can you dance?
I'm an artist, Miss Levi. I paint.
Well, then, my card.
Miss Dolly Levi. Painters taught how to dance?
Now, there's a man, Rudolph Weisenweber, at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant on 14th Street. I'll give you a note for him, and we'll see if he can't have you both entered in tonight's poker contest. The prize is a week's engagement and a gold cup. All the cups we won, Ephraim and me.
Hold on, Miss Levi. No fiancé of mine is setting foot in a cafe. And I don't mind saying, I'm surprised to know that you have acquaintances in a place like that.
Not acquaintances, Mr. Kemper. Friends. Dear friends from days gone by. My late husband, Ephraim Levi, believed in life. At any place you could find it. Cafes, ballrooms, yes, even theaters. Why, even when times were bad, every Saturday night, like clockwork, down those stairs at the Harmonia Gardens we came, Ephraim and me.
It's all good and well to go down like clockwork, Miss Levi, but you're asking Ermengarde to work there.
It's the only way to show Horace Vanderbilt that we mean business. Now, you go to Harmonia Gardens restaurant this afternoon and tell him that Miss Levi sent you. And incidentally, tell Rudolph that Dolly's coming back. And I want a table for 2 and a chicken for 8 o'clock tonight.
The top row looks all right, Cornelius. Now, hold the candle under the ones on bottom. Whoa, not too close. They're swelled up like they're gonna burst. Holy cabooses, what a smell!
Let's get dressed, Barnaby. We're going to New York. Out there, there's a world outside of Yonkers. Way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby. Out there, full of shine and full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glisten, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby. Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there. Get out the brilliantine and dime cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air. Girls in white in a perfume night where the lights are bright as the stars. Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town in one of those new horse-drawn open cars. We'll see the shows at Delmonico's and we'll close the town in a whirl. And we won't come home until we've kissed a girl.
Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Go down the street and have your picture took. Just like a dream, your spirit seemed to turn about. That Sunday shine is a certain sign that you've been as fine as your life.
Beneath the parasol, the world is all a smile. It is still brand new down to your toes. Get out your feathers, your patent leathers, your beads and buckles and bows. For there's no blue Monday in your Sunday
stuffed whale at Barnum's Museum.
Holy cabooses!
Well, come on.
Sniveling, don't cry on the valises. We haven't missed the train yet, thank the Lord. Lovely, you're improving. Now get all 11 pieces. We're 7 minutes late. All aboard.
I tell you. What marriage? Oh, I thought you knew. Why, the marriage Mrs. Levi is arranging between Mr. Horace Vandergelder, the well-known Yonkers half-a-millionaire, and my employer and friend, Mrs. Irene Malloy. Although, if you ask me, he'll never take the place of her late husband, Mr. Peter Malloy. May he rest in peace. Wherever he is, I'm not sure. He was a caution, you know. Oh, it's all too much, what with late husbands and new marriages, and on top of everything else, Miss Mortimer returning this hat for the 3rd time. Same old story, worry. She wants more cherries and feathers to catch a beau, I suppose. Although if you ask me, she'd do better with a nice, heavy veil. I told her ribbons down our back is what we'll be wearing this summer if we want to catch a gentleman's eye. She'd have none of it. Cherries and feathers she wants on today, of all days, when that poor, dear, sweet Mrs. Malloy has enough on her mind. What with what, Minnie? With the door. It's stuck. It's stuck. Then push. And as I was saying, Mrs. Malloy, I could bite out my tongue for the things I've said and the things that I'm going to say, but as long as I've gone this far, I might as well go all the way. Mrs. Malloy, why... Say it, Minnie. Why have I decided to marry Horace Vandegelder? Mrs. Malloy, I didn't ask you that. I would rather die on the raft than ask you such a personal question. But as long as you did bring it up, I am marrying Horace Vandegelder for one reason and one reason alone, Minnie, to get away from the millinery business. I hate hats. Mrs. Malloy! And I can no longer stand being suspected of being a wicked woman with nothing to show for it. Mrs. Malloy! Don't protest, Minnie. All millineresses are suspected of being wicked women. I can't go into restaurants or balls or theaters. That's all the proof they need. Take my word for it, Minnie. Either I marry Horace Vandegelder or I break out of this place like a fire engine. Oh, no. Not Miss Mortimer again. Miss Mortimer, I'll take care of it. No, Minnie. Leave it be. You can make another hat for Miss Mortimer if you'd like. I'm wearing this one myself. Mrs. Malloy! You can't! Well, you're a widow and that hat, well, it's provocative, that's what. Is it, Minnie? Well, who knows who may walk into the shop today, and provocative may be just what I want to be. Mrs. Malloy! I'll be wearing ribbons down my back this summer. Blue and green and streaming in the yellow sky. So if someone special comes my way this summer, he might notice me passing by. And so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow behind me that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye, and he might smile and take me by the hand this summer, making me recall how lovely love can be. And so I will proudly wear ribbons down my back, shining in my heart, that he might notice me. And so I will proudly wear ribbons down my back, shining Mrs. Malloy, wild horses couldn't make me ask this next question I'm about to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyhow. Do you love Horace Vandergelder?
No, Minnie, I don't. Peter Malloy, God rest him, was my share of love, and I'm not saying I was shortchanged. Once is enough for a woman, as long as it's true love. And it was that. Minnie, look, there's two men staring at the shop.
Men?
Why, I do believe they mean to come in here.
Men in the shop? Oh, Mrs. Malloy, what shall we do?
Do? Why, flirt with them, of course. I'll give you the short one.
Mrs. Malloy, and you with all that talk about love.
Love enough I've had, Minnie. It's a bit of adventure I could do with now. We'll get them all heated up and then drop them cold. It'll be good practice for married life. Now, you go into the workroom, Minnie. I know some ways we can perk up our appearances a little. Besides, a bit of a wait will only make them nervous and easier for us to...
If you say vampire, I'll scream!
Vampire. And so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow behind me that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye. Oh, Minnie, we'll get an adventure out of this yet.
We'll get an adventure out of this yet, Barnaby. All day long we wander around New York and nothing happens. Then we come to the quietest street in the city and suddenly...
Vandergelder!
Is he still out there? Go look.
He's sitting over there on that bench. Cornelius, are you sure this is an adventure?
Oh, you don't have to ask, Barnaby. When you're in one, you'll know it all right. How much money have you got left?
Well, let's see. 40 cents for the train ride home, 30 cents for dinner, and 20 cents to see the whale. That makes 90 cents. Why?
Well, when those women come out of there, we'll have to pretend to be customers. Customers, that's it. Maybe the best thing to do is make them think that we're rich. Then we won't have to spend anything. We're two men about town looking for some hats for ladies. Good afternoon, Mrs.
Malloy.
Cornelius Hackle here.
Barnaby Tucker here.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Now, what can I do for you today,
Well, you see, we're two ladies about town looking for some hats to Malloy. We wondered...
We're two hats, and we wanted to buy a lady or
We
two.
want a hat. For a lady, of course. And everybody said to go to Mrs. Malloy's because she's so pretty. Her hats are so pretty.
And so reasonable. As reasonable as under $1. That would leave us money to see the whale.
You'll have to pay him no mind, ma'am. He's come all the way from Yonkers to see a stuffed whale, and he's all excited. Just keep an eye out on that street, Barnaby, and maybe you'll see it pass by.
Is it big and black with mean little red eyes?
Yes?
It's sitting out there on that bench.
Excuse me, but did you say Yonkers, Mr. Hackle?
Yes, ma'am, Yonkers. And forgive me for saying this, but you should see Yonkers. Well, by that I mean perhaps Mr. Malloy would like to see Yonkers too.
Oh, I'm a widow, Mr. Hackle.
A widow, Barnaby, she's a widow. Oh, that's too bad. I'm sure Mr. Malloy would have enjoyed Yonkers, especially in that hat. I mean on you, of course, not Mr. Malloy. May he rest in peace. You're Catholic, aren't you? Well, don't let that worry you. I'd be willing to change. Mrs. Malloy, if you should ever happen to have a Sunday free in the near future, well, I'd be more than pleased to show you Yonkers from top to bottom.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Hackle, I might be there sooner than you think.
Oh, really?
Yes, you see, I have a friend who lives in Yonkers.
Do you?
Yes, perhaps perhaps you know him.
Well, perhaps we do.
Oh, it's always so foolish to ask in cases like this. It's a Mr. Vandergelder.
Horace Vandergelder?
Vandergelder's hay and feed?
Do you know him?
No, of course not.
Mr. Vandergelder is a substantial man and well-liked, they tell me.
A lovely man, Mrs. Malloy. Just lovely. Has only one fault as far as I know. He's hard as nails.
Cornelius, I think...
I wonder if your friend might
Look
like...
out!
Begging your pardon, Mrs. Malloy.
Gentlemen, what are you doing?
Help us, Mrs. Malloy. We'll explain later.
Come out of there this minute!
We're as innocent as can be, Miss Malloy.
Really? Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, I insist that you both come out of... Mr. Vandergelder.
Miss Malloy, I don't suppose Miss Levi is here, is she? She was supposed to meet me on that bench 10 minutes ago. Well, she can just go looking for me if she comes. When I make an appointment, I like people to be on time. Oh, here's a present for you. Chocolate-covered peanuts, unshelled. That's the expensive kind. Did I just see you talking with two men?
Men? Men, Mr. Vandergelder? What would men be doing in a lady's hat shop? Well, now let's go into my workroom. I'm so anxious for you to see it.
I saw it last week.
Oh, so you did. Well, Mr. Vandergelder, what's new in the hay and feed business? I hear you have 3 friends, all hard as nails. I mean,
What on earth are you talking about?
Yonkers. I hear it's a very beautiful city.
And who's been telling you about Yonkers, may I ask?
Nobody. A friend.
What friend?
Well, you see, he,
He?
A customer, Mr. Vandergelder. Someone quite well-to-do, as a matter of fact. He was in here earlier buying hats for ladies. You might even know him, although it's usually silly to ask in cases like this. It's a Mr. Hackle.
Did you say Hackle?
Why, yes.
Miss Malloy, he happens to be my head clerk, that's all. I demand an explanation.
And I'm gonna have to give it to you. Why shouldn't she know Cornelius Hackle? Everybody in New York knows Cornelius Hackle. He's at the opera and all the fashionable shows. Why, he's even at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant 3 times a week.
That's impossible. He's only got $146.35, and I keep it in my own safe.
Mr. Vandergelder, you're killing me. He's one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
What canal?
The Panama.
Both.
It ain't the same man.
Who took the horses from Jenny Lind's carriage and pulled her through the streets? Cornelius Hackle. And who dressed up as a waiter from the Fifth Avenue Hotel and dropped an oyster right down Miss Astor's... Well, I can't say it, but it was Cornelius Hackle. He's the playboy of New York. Now, Irene, don't deny it. I can see that you're taken with him just like everybody else.
Dolly, what are you talking about? I've only seen him once in my life. Really, Dolly, I couldn't.
Excuse me.
Of course. Hold your tongue.
No, look here. If there's a man in that
No,
closet...
Mr. Vandergelder, you can't. It's too dangerous.
No man that hides in ladies' closets can frighten me, Miss Levi. Stand aside.
No man indeed. Well, I'm sure you'd make short work of any man, of those muscles. But I can see them now rippling back and forth under your coats. Riffle, ripple, ripple, back and forth. Riffle, ripple, ripple.
For the last time, Miss Levi, will you stand aside?
Stand indeed, Mr. Vandergelder. That's exactly what the courts are going to want to know when you're accused of entering that closet without a search warrant. I mean, what do you stand for if you don't stand for the law of this great land? I know what I stand for. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for all kids. Take up your hats, Sir Betsy Ross's flag is tossing. Do you see him on the hill at Gettysburg? Neath that great triumphal arch. If you see him as he's trampling through the grapes of wrath, stand up and march, march, march.
Has this not affected you, sir? I came here at 14 years of age as an immigrant girl from a land that oppressed my people, and I must echo here what was said by that great and patriotic American,
Moses.
I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir, there's a tear-stained eagle passing. Do you see him on the bridge at Waterloo? Neath that great triumph arch. If you hear it singing Dixie in the sugar cane, stand up and march, march, march. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir, Betsy Ross's flag is passing. Do you see him on there like Gettysburg? Neath that great triumph arch. Dixie singing, talking over Messiah. Stand up and march, march. 7 years ago, march, march, march. The women were perfect union. March, march.
Damn the torpedoes. Full speed ahead.
March, march, march.
So you see, Mr. Vandergelder, there couldn't possibly be a man hiding in that closet.
Achoo!
God bless you.
Miss Malloy?
All right, Mr. Vandergelder, there is a man in that closet,
Aha!
and another one under that table.
What the devil?
There also happens to be a very good explanation, but for the present, good afternoon.
Good Lord, the whole room seems to be crawling with men. I'll never get over it. I take it I'll see you later this afternoon, Mr. Vandergelder.
You certainly will, Miss Levi, with a certain young lady on the main float at the end of the parade. Good day, Miss Malloy.
Mrs. Malloy, I can explain everything.
I do not wish to hear any explanations, Mr. Hackletus. You and Mr. Tucker leave my shop at once, or I'll be forced to call in Officer Gogarty.
Irene, if you ask me, calling on an officer's letting them off too easy. I've been counting up the offenses these two have committed, and believe me, you have the grounds for at least 2 writs, a non-compos menace, and a garnished sheet. Now, the main thing to do is to try to show that you try to settle it amicably. Have dinner with them.
Dinner?
Is that absolutely necessary, Dolly?
It's the way things are done in the law, Irene. Dinner first, garnish she afterwards.
Well, if it must be, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, you may take Miss Fay and myself to dinner.
Delighted, Mrs. Malloy. I speak for Barnaby, too. Now, I hear there's a nice restaurant in the railway station.
Oh, no, Mr. Hackle. If the Harmonia Gardens is good enough for your fashionable friends, it's good enough for us. I hear they have a lovely orchestra there, Minnie.
Oh, no, we couldn't go there, Mrs. Malloy. Now, don't misunderstand me. It isn't the money or anything. It's the...
It's the whale.
It's the whale. No, it isn't the whale, Barnaby. It's the dancing. You see, they have dancing in a place like that. Exhibitions, contests, and I don't know how, when it would take me weeks, months, years to learn. Mrs. Dolly Levi, 28 and 3/4-year-old chief clerks taught how to dance.
Now, it's very simple. You put one arm here and one arm here.
Oh, it's no use. I have absolutely no sense of rhythm.
Absolutely no sense of rhythm is one of the primary requirements for learning by the Gallagher-Levi method. Just give me 5 minutes of your time, Mr. Huckle, and I'll have you dancing in the streets. We'll start with the waltz, kick, turn. It's very simple. Right foot touch, left foot touch, under, back, around, touch, out, over, back, through, release, unfurl. Oh, when I think of the woman who'll find heaven in your arms. Let's go back to lesson number 1. Put your hand on her waist and stand with her right in your left hand. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Look, I'm dancing. Well, I was.
Of course you were, Mr. Hacker. Take the someone whose arms are green. Hold on to her tight and spin. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Wow, I'm dancing.
Turn around, try the loaded movie. Can't you be a little more aesthetic?
Don't you think my dancing has a polish and a flair?
The word I think I'd use is athletic.
For my heart is about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that I'm dancing, who cares if I ever stop?
You're next, Mr. Douglas. Glide and step and step and glide.
And everyone stand aside.
Look, everybody, he's dancing.
You can learn to polka if you want to wink or so. Or the tango filled with passion seething.
I might join the chorus of the Castle Garden Show.
Well, whatever you do, for God's sakes, keep breathing.
For my heart is about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that we're dancing, who cares if we ever stop?
There's someone you hardly know and wish you were closer to. Remember that he can be near to you while you're dancing. Though you've only just said hello, he's suddenly someone who can make all your daydreams appear to you
deliver. I'm fine. My daughter Fanny got married, you know.
Did she?
A year ago last September. Gosh, Miss Levi, it's been such a long time since you've lived here. Such a long, long time.
Ephraim, let me go. It's been long enough, Ephraim. Every night for all these years, I put out the cat, I've locked the door, I've made myself a little rum toddy, and before I went to bed, I said a prayer thanking God that I was independent, that no one else's life was mixed up with mine. Then one night an oak leaf fell out of my Bible. I put it there when you asked me to marry you, Ephraim. A perfectly good oak leaf, but without color and without life. And suddenly I realized I was like that leaf. For all these years, I had not shed one tear, nor had I been filled with the wonderful hope that something or other would turn out right. And so I've decided to rejoin the human race. And Ephraim, I want you to give me away. Before the parade passes by, I gotta get in step while there's still time left. Before the parade passes by.
Mrs. Levi, Cornelius is taking us all down to see the 14th Street Parade. Everybody will be marching.
Why, Irene, you're crying.
Oh, Dolly, the world is full of such wonderful things. Come with us, Dolly.
I will, Irene. I will. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna go and taste Saturday's highlight. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get a sudden urgent business appointment at the Mint. They were running a little bit short and she went to help out. But she'll meet you at the Harmonia Guns restaurant at 8 o'clock tonight.
That's the most expensive restaurant in the city.
And well, it should be. What food and the fastest service in New York. By the way, I may be running a little bit late, so she'll have to meet you in front of the restaurant. But wait till you see Ernestina, Horace.
All right, I'll be there, Dolly. But only because I've already paid for the introduction, and I might as well get my money's worth. But from now on, you are hereby discharged as my marriage broker. Is that clear? From now on, you're just a woman like anyone else.
Ephraim, he's as good as mine. Leave the room. I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old telephone. Give me an old baton. You play the queen. As it's
Well, Mr. Hackle, we've just loved looking at the lights of 14th Street these past 4 hours. But perhaps we better call a hack or we won't make it to the Harmonia Gardens on time. Oh, there's one. Yoo-hoo!
Oh, no, we couldn't do that, Mrs. Malloy. It's not the money or anything. It's just that nowadays, really elegant people never take hacks.
Hacks is out.
They all go by streetcar.
J.P. Morgan, Vanderbilt.
Then by all means, a streetcar.
Imagine. Just think, I've been elegant all my life and never even knew it.
Of course, if you really want to be elegant,
We do.
you walk.
Yes, New York, it's really us, Barnaby and
Cornelius.
All the guests of Mr. Hackle are feeling great and look spectacular. What a knack there is to that acting like a born aristocrat. We got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off.
all who are well-bred agree. Minnie Fay has pedigree.
Exercise your wildest whims tonight. We are out with diamond gems tonight. Could they be misleading us?
Silver spoons were used for feeding us. We got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off. Middle class, don't speak of it, savoir-faire. We reek of it. Some were born with rags and patches, but we used dollar bills for matches and
Vanderbilt. Kowtows to us.
J.P. Morgan scrapes and bows to us. We got elegance. We were born with elegance. Have you noticed when I hold my cup, the saucer never moves?
And the way I keep my pinky up in Dobie moves.
That we got elegance. We got built in elegance and with elegance. We'll carry it on.
Got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry it off. Look, Minnie, they're counting their money again. Isn't that just like the rich? Well, gentlemen, aren't you going to escort us in?
Of course we are, Mrs. Malloy. Barnaby. Mrs. Malloy.
Yes, Mr. Hackle?
Mrs. Malloy, as we start inside, may I
Yes, Mr. Hackle?
put my arm around your waist?
Yes, Mr. Hackle. But I might as well warn you, a corset is a corset.
You heard Miss Levi. This is the only way to show your uncle we mean business. Now, will you please leap a little faster? You're throwing me off step. Faster.
Sweet Rosie O'Grady, my sweet little Rose.
Und it is my order, as head waiter of the Harmonia Gardens restaurant, and your supreme commander, that tonight, of all nights, our usual lightning service should be twice as lightning as ever, or else. I trust you will find these tables satisfactory, sir. The private dining rooms do cost a bit more, yet they do afford a better view of the entertainment.
$1.40, Cornelius? That's all that's left.
Are you sure? Count it again.
Prepare yourself for a big night, Minnie. We're out with two of New York's best-known sports.
It's only $1.35 this time. Don't worry, I'll count it again.
No, don't. We can't afford it.
I'm going to order everything on the menu. Waiter!
I'm sorry, sir, you will have to move. This table is reserved for Mrs. Levi and party.
And who do you think I am? Only it's Horace Vandergelder and party. She's in mine and party ain't in hers.
Mr. Vandergelder, of course. It's just that Mrs. Levi mentioned nothing of you bringing
My personal physician. That's enough rouge, doctor.
But Mrs. Levi only ordered a chicken for 2.
Chickens are dear.
Un pâté maison, soupe de jour und pomme soufflée.
Why didn't you tell me this is an Oriental establishment? We'll take 2 bowls of rice. Now get out. Now, Miss Money, I understand you carry respectable sums in your belt.
Yeah, $2. Only to see my daughter.
It's sweet of you to worry about our reputations, Cornelius, but Minnie and I don't care who sees us tonight. Well, Minnie, what have you decided?
Oh, I couldn't have anything at these prices. I really couldn't.
Great grindstones. What a sensible girl. Waiter, we'll take 4 glasses of beer, a loaf of yesterday's bread, and some cheese.
Yesterday's bread. Oh, Cornelius. Now I know how you keep half of New York in stitches all the time. Minnie, have you ever eaten pheasant?
Pheasant?
Say, why you got that coat pulled up over your head? You ashamed of something?
It's not that. I just felt a slight chill.
Well, why didn't you say so? Here, I'll loan you this. Oops. Now, let's order something to hold us till the rice comes, huh? Waiter? I'll have a roast suckling pig with chestnuts, some oyster stuffings, some cheese fondue, and some lady fingers. Now, what'll you have?
About our digestion, Cornelius, but I'm sure the pheasants are fresh. We'll take 4, please, and a nice red wine.
Wait a minute, no wine.
No wine?
Champagne.
Champagne!
It's once in a lifetime, Barnaby. Champagne and Neapolitan ice cream and hothouse peaches. And Barnaby, give the band leader a nickel and tell him to play To a Wild Rose. We want music while we dine.
Dance.
The Vandergelters do not dance, Miss Money. We're Presbyterian.
All right, I'll dance myself. Give me $2 for the band leader, will you? And tell him to play something refined. I'm gonna do the hoochie coochie.
Okay, Cornelius. I guess so, but promise not to order anything else.
You wait here, Miss Money. I'll tell them to play a nice waltz. Look, you. Give this to the band leader and tell him to play a waltz.
For the band leader. Would you tell him to play a...
Whoopee!
Miss Money! That's my purse.
Excuse me, but that's my wallet. I know it's mine because there's nothing in it but 3 dimes, 5 nickels, and a... Cornelius! Cornelius! Did he say 2 pheasants? 3, 4. And never mind if I don't see the whale. I'll buy one of my own.
What's this? Shouting? How many times have I told you not to shout? This is the Harmonia Gardens restaurant, not one of those.
But sir, she's here. The lady.
What? Are you sure?
Just like you said, sir. 8 o'clock on the nose. Up pulls a carriage and out steps a tall lady with red hair and the biggest handbag you ever saw.
It's she, Mrs. Levi. She's back.
Rudolph, is it true? I heard somebody whispering outside of the kitchen window, and it sounded like...
It is! Fritz, tell the band. Mrs. Levi just stepped out of her carriage.
Rudolph, it's true, no?
It's true, yeah. She just stepped out of a black and gold carriage carried by white horses with 6 black plumes.
Ah, Rudolph, it's like old times again.
Hello, Rudy. Well, hello, Stanley. It's so nice to be back here where I belong. You're looking swell, Nanny, I can tell. Danny, you're still glowing, you're still growing, you're still going strong. I feel the room swaying for the band, playing one of my old favorite songs from way back when. So bridge that gap, fellas, find me an empty lap, fellas, Dolly, you'll never go away again.
It's so nice to have you back where you belong. You're looking swell, Dolly. We can tell, Dolly. You're still growing, you're still growing, you're still going strong. We feel the room swaying for the best, playing one of your old favorite songs from way back when. So
Here's my hat, fellas, I'm staying where I'm at, fellas. I went away from the lights of 14th Street and into my personal haze. But now that I'm back in the lights of 14th Street, tomorrow will be brighter than the good old days.
well,
Excuse me. Dolly? Dolly Gallagher? What are you doing in that getup? And you're a half hour late. And I demand an explanation of...
Ernestina?
Exactly.
Ernestina, whom I trusted.
She wanted to do the hoochie coochie.
Well, she always was artistic. Horace, I'm going to have our table moved down front. There's someone in the dance competition I particularly want you to see. Now, don't let's say another word about it. I'm as shocked as you are. I can't eat a thing. What have you ordered?
What you wanted? A chicken. Now, see here, Miss Levi, about that hoochie coochie girl.
Did you say a chicken? Oh, I don't think I could face a chicken. Not a chicken, not today. Not after what's happened.
Good, then cancel the chicken.
And bring a turkey.
What are you doing now?
Nothing. Just looking the place over, getting acquainted with the surroundings.
That's the trouble with you, Dolly Levi. Always wanting to know everything. Always putting your nose into other people's affairs. Anybody who married you would get as nervous as a cat.
What? What's that you're saying?
I said anybody who married you would get as nervous
Horace Vandergelder, get that idea right out of your head this minute. I'm surprised you'd even mention such a thing. Understand once and for all that I have no intention of marrying you.
I didn't mean that.
Well, I certainly do hope not. Horace Vandergelder, you go your way and I'll go mine. I'm not some Irene Malloy whose head could be turned by a few chocolate-covered peanuts, unshelled. Why, the idea of you even suggesting such a thing.
Miss Levi, you misunderstood me.
Well, I certainly do hope not. But if I had any intention of marrying again, it would be to a far more pleasure-loving man than you. However, we won't discuss it anymore. Here's the waiter with our food. I'll serve Mr. Vandergelder. Oh, here's some white meat for you. And dumplings, lighter than air they are. And some giblets, very tender and very good for you. No, Horace, as I said before, you go your way and I'll go mine. Start right in on the wine. I think you'll feel better at once. However, since you brought the matter up, there is one thing I think I ought to say. One more thing I think I ought to say before we forget all about it. It's true. I'm a woman who likes to know everything that's going on, who likes to manage things. But I wouldn't want to manage anything as out of control as your household. You'll have to do that yourself, God helping you.
It's not out of control.
Very well, let's not say another word about it. Have some beets, Horace. They're good.
I don't like beets.
That's good. No, Horace, a complaining, quarrelsome, friendless soul like you is no sort of companion for me. You salt your beets and I'll salt mine.
Will you stop saying that?
I won't say another word.
Good.
Except this. At your age, Horace, you should enjoy hearing the honest truth.
My age, my age. You're always talking about my age.
Well, I don't know what your age is, but I do know that up in Yonkers with bad food and bad temper, you'll double it in 6 months. Have some more beets, Horace. They're good.
I don't like beets. I hate beets.
That's nice. Now dig right in. Yes, Horace, the pity of it is you could be a perfectly charming, witty, amiable man if you wanted to.
I don't want to be charming.
But you are. Look at you now. You can't hide it. Now sit down, Horace, and let's talk of something else. But before we change the subject, there is one more thing I'm going to say.
I don't want to hear it, and you're wasting your time, Dolly Levi. I won't ask you to marry me.
And I suppose that means you want me to ask you? Well, I'm sorry, Horace. I'm turning you down.
How can you turn me down when I haven't asked you anything?
It's no use arguing. I've made up your mind. Here, let me cut your wings.
I've got a headache. I'm going back to my hotel.
But you can't go now. The competition's about to begin.
Here's the money to pay for dinner. Here's $20. Wait a minute. There's nothing in here but $1, 3 dimes, 5 pennies, and a button. This isn't my purse. I've lost my purse.
Barnaby, that purse you found.
Impossible. I can't imagine you without your purse.
It's Vandergelder's. Cornelius, we better get out of here.
What am I going to do? I've never been here before. They don't know me. Stop eating that turkey. I can't pay for it.
Horace, it's the latest thing, a polka. And there's one dancer I particularly want you to see.
Wait a minute.
like that, he should have won the solid gold cup.
Mrs. Malloy, it's been a perfectly wonderful evening, but I'm afraid we're going to have to cut it a bit short.
Minnie, a polka. Cornelius, I simply must have one dance.
But Vandergelder's here. We gotta leave.
We will, but we'll dance our way out.
Cornelius Hackle,
Mr. Vandergelder.
Barnaby Tucker,
Mr. Vandergelder.
Ermengarde, Dolly Levi, this is your doing. What are you up to?
Mr. Vandergelder, I can explain everything.
I don't want to hear any explanations. You're fired.
Officer, arrest this man.
I told you to stay.
You stole my cup.
I told you. Hey, cut that out. You can't do that to me. I'm going back to my table.
I didn't do it.
That's better. Now, you're all charged with disturbing the peace, assault and battery, inciting to riot, and several other equally serious violations of the law of this city. Is there anyone here to speak in your behalf? I say, is there anyone here to speak in your behalf? Mrs. Dolly Levi, counselor at law.
Your Honor, that offense rests. No, there's no need to call witnesses, ladies and gentlemen. When I see upon that bench a brow that gleams with honor, a pair of snow-white whiskers that bristle with fair play, and a nose. I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to look at that nose. A nose that shines in the night like a flaming beacon of justice. Your Honor, could you turn this way a bit so we can get a better look at your beacon? A living symbol of the motto of this great land, E proboscis unum. Your Honor, I ask for freedom of my clients and a verdict of guilty for the only real culprit, Horace Vandergelder of Yonkers, New York.
Dolly,
the one man responsible for these grievous charges of willful destruction of private property.
A curtain torn, a waiter bruised, and a solid gold cup bent.
Cruelty to poor, unfortunate minor. Would you mind repeating that, dear?
Pardon me, Mrs. Levi, but if it please the court, I have something to say.
I was just about to call on you, Mr. Hackle. Go right ahead.
Cornelius Hackle, if you dare testify against me, you'll be discharged.
Oh, you've already done that, Mr. Van de Gelder.
Well, I'll do it again.
You've done it again, too. But even if you hadn't, I'd still say what I have to say. I don't know much about disturbing the peace or inciting to riot, but what I do know is the most important thing that happened to a man would have never have happened if I'd obeyed your orders and stayed in Yonkers, New York. Your Honor, I am talking about none other than love.
You're trying to tell me that after 29 years in Yonkers, you've fallen in love because you take one evening off?
Oh, no, Mr. Van de Gelder. I didn't fall in love with Mrs. Irene Malloy of this city in just a day. An evening. No, an hour. No, less than that. What's less than a minute?
A second.
Less than that.
A moment.
That's it. A moment. It only takes a moment for your eyes to meet, and then your hearts know in a moment that you'll never be alone again. I held her for an instant, but my arms felt sure and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved a whole life long. Isn't the world full of wonderful things? There I sat, cooped up in Yonkers for years and years, and all the time wonderful people like Mrs. Malloy were walking around New York, and I don't know them at all. I don't know whether you can all see from where you're sitting. Well, for instance, the way her eye and cheek and forehead come together up here. Can you? I tell you right now, a fine woman is the greatest work of God on earth. You can talk all you like about Niagara Falls and the pyramids, but they aren't in it at all. Of course I've seen women before, but today I talk to one equal to equal, and they're so different from men. And awfully mysterious, too. I bet you could know a woman 100 years without ever being really sure whether she liked you or not. Today I've lost so many things. My job, my future, everything that people thinks is important. But I don't care. Even if I have to dig ditches for the rest of my life, I'll be a ditch digger who once had a wonderful day. It only takes a moment, but his arms felt sure and strong. It only takes a moment. He held me
dismissed. Dismissed. You're all dismissed. All except for Horace Van de Gelder of Yonkers, New York. You're all dismissed. You're free, my children, and bless you. Go. Go.
You can see the prisoner now, Mrs. Levi.
Well, Horace, there's your life. Without niece, without clerks, without bride, and without your purse. It looks like there's only one more thing for me to say.
Fitz asked me to marry you, Dolly Gallagher, never. Not in a million years. Under no circumstances will I ever marry you.
Oh, that wasn't it at all, Horace. All I wanted to say to you was, goodbye.
What?
Goodbye.
Now, hold on, Dolly.
It's too late, Horace. I failed. And when a woman fails, there's nothing else she can say but goodbye, 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 goodbye. Don't try to stop me, Horace. Please. Wave your little hand and whisper so long, dearie, you ain't gonna see me anymore. But when you discover that your life is dreary, don't you come a-knocking at my door. For I'll be all dolled up and singing that song that says, you dog, I told you so. So wave your little hand and whisper so long, dearie, dearie, should have said so long ago. Because you treated me so rotten and rough, I've had enough of feeling low. So wave your little hand and whisper so long, dearie, dearie, should have said so long ago. Oh, I can hear that choo-choo calling me on to a fancy new address. Yes, I can hear that choo-choo calling me on aboard that Happiness Express. I'm gonna learn to dance and drink and smoke a cigarette. I'm going as far away from Yonkers as a girl can get. And on those cold winter nights, Horace, you can snuggle up to your cash register. It's a little lumpy, but it rings. Do come and knock it off the old double bed, singing that song that says, you dog, I told you so. So, Horace, you will find your life a sad old story when you see your Dolly shuffle out to glory. Oh, I should have said so long ago.
And I wouldn't marry you, Dolly Levi, if you were the last woman on earth. Not if you asked me a million times. I didn't need you before and I don't need you now. You go your way and I'll go mine. Dolly, Dolly, Dolly.
You stamped Mr. Van de Gelder?
Oh, so it's you, Mr. Heckle. Come crawling back, have you?
Oh, no, Mr. Van de Gelder. I just came back by for my $146.35. You see, I've decided to go into business for myself. And seeing as how the only business I know is hay and feed, well, I'm opening my own store.
And Cornelius has found the perfect location, Mr. Vandergelder, right across the street from you.
So you think you can compete with Vandergelders, do you? Well, you just try.
Ahem.
Aha, another one come crawling back. What do you want?
My back pay for the past 4 months, $6.12.
You can't do this to me, any of you. I'll go to the courts. I'll get lawyers.
Why, Horace Vandergelder, as I live and breathe.
Dolly Gallagher.
I know just what you're going to say, Horace. You're not satisfied with Ernestina. Well, I do have one more girl for you, the ideal wife. But don't let me stop you. You were doing something? What were you doing?
Getting Cornelius's money, Dolly. $146.
And 35 cents.
Plus $6.12 for me.
The money my mama left me.
$52.48.
38.
48.
All right. If it's money you want, the safe's in the back room. It's 38 cents. I told you it was 38 cents.
Get your money.
I told you.
Get your hat.
Money, 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 money. Mr. Vandergelder's money. It's like the sun we walk under. It can kill or cure. Vandergelder's never too tired of saying that most of the people in this world are fools. And in a way, he's right, isn't he? Himself, Cornelius, myself. Yes, we're all fools. And we're all in danger of destroying the world in our folly. But the surest way to keep us out of trouble is to give us the 4 or 5 human pleasures that are all right in life. And that takes a little money. The difference between a little money and no money at all is enormous and can shatter the world. And the difference between a little money and an enormous amount of money is very slight. And that could shatter the world too. It's all in how you look at it. My late husband, Ephraim Levi, used to say, money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It ain't worth a thing unless you spread it around, encouraging young things to grow. Anyhow, that's the opinion of the second Mrs. Vandergelder. Which reminds me, Ephraim, I'm ready for that sign.
Oh, well, don't just stand there. That goes upstairs.
Well, Horace, as I was saying, I found you the ideal wife.
Dolly Gallagher, I don't want you to find me no ideal wives. If I want an ideal wife, I'll find one of my own. And I have, and it's you.
Why, Horace.
I know I've been a fool about Miss Malloy and that other woman, but forgive me and marry me.
Horace, stop right there.
What do you mean?
Well, you know as well as I do that you're the first citizen of Yonkers, and your wife would have to be a somebody. Answer me, Horace. Am I a somebody?
You are. You're a wonderful woman.
Oh, you're partial. No, Horace, it wouldn't be enough for you to load your wife with money and jewels, to insist that she be a benefactress to half the town. By the way, you know it's bad business letting Cornelius open a shop right across the street from you? Better take it back and let him be your partner.
Partner?
And Barnaby can have Cornelius's old job.
Now hold on, Dolly.
That way we'll all be together so we can dance at Irma God's wedding.
That's it. You've gone too far. And besides, I'll dance at no weddings because I don't know how, and it could take me weeks, months, years to learn. All right, I'll dance.
Oh, Horace, I never thought I'd hear you say a thing like that. Horace Vandergelder, what is going on up there?
Oh, nothing. I thought I'd just have that front room done over in blue wallpaper.
Horace.
Oh, I know the old wallpaper ain't worn out yet, But that fella's just set up in business and he needs a good start. You see, Dolly, I've always felt that money, pardon the expression, is like manure. It's not worth a thing unless you spend
Thank you, Ephraim.
Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you here where you belong. I never knew, Dolly, without you, Dolly, life was awfully flat, and more than that was awfully wrong.
Here's my hat, Horace, I'm staying where I'm at. Horace, darling, you'll never go away.
Wonderful woman. Oh,